What? Oh. Oh. Please. No. Please. Please work. Hold on. Hold on. Please, camera live. Please work. Please. Please. Please start working. Don't do it. Don't. Hello, friends. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti, and my camera now works. Why does it look so bad in here? Oh. Hold on a second. Thanks for coming to 4-inch Friday. We are going to finish up this QAV-S mini and answer some questions and hang out. Office, purple, there we go. That's a little better. I turned the lava lamp on. What is happening? What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No lava lamp tonight, guys. Wow. We're off the reservation here. I think the light might have burned out in there. In the chat, Kema FPV, Remy Tim, Kathy McKibben, Matthew Vega, Moto Ref, Northern Tier FPV, Ed K, FPV Trucker, BeepTube, DJ, Ed K, Northern Tier FPV. What's up, friends? What the hell? This will not stand. This unchecked aggression will not stand. It's plugged in there, and then that's plugged in there. Yeah, the bulb must have went. Yeah, well, I have extras in the closet. It's not easy to get to though, so lava lamp will be working by tomorrow. Kema saying hello, FPV Trucker saying hello, Ed K saying lava lamp is off, as is Kema. This is my full-time job. If you'd like me to keep doing this, you got to go over to CiottiFPV.com and just start clicking stuff, just at random. Just go over there and just start hammering buttons, and inevitably, it'll help me out. Thumbs up down here, bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. It all helps. Much appreciated. What else was I going to say? This is a good time to join the Patreon. This month there are going to be a ton of full builds given away. So, yeah, you should do that. CiottiFPV.com, the very top link is Patreon, or just go to Patreon and search for CiottiFPV. There's going to be it's looking like at least 6 full build giveaways this month. So yeah, it's a really good time to join the Patreon page. The giveaways will be in each of the tiers. There'll be a couple of full build giveaways in the $5 a month Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier. 1 or 2 giveaways in the $10 a month 3-inch Micro Brushless and Cinewhoop tier. And then the $20 5-inch tier is not going to have giveaways because 5-inch rigs are really expensive to build. The $30 all of the tiers tier is the one where there's going to be a couple of 5-inch giveaways this month. So yeah, the $20 a month 5-inch specific only tier is going to have a couple of frame giveaways. So still really good giveaways. But FPV Exchange very, very, very kindly sent over 2 fully built Apexes. Not fully built. 2 Apexes with premium motors, premium ESC, premium flight controller. No camera, no receiver, because God knows what camera and receiver setup that you're on, right? Analog, digital, Crossfire, FR Sky, smoke signals. But yeah, I mean, these are like $300-400 builds. So yeah, those are going to be giveaways through the $30 a month tier. And there's going to be, you're going to have to work for it a little bit. Basically, you're going to have to head on over to FPV Exchange, set up an account, import some purchases from whatever website you order from, because all the big websites will import to FPV Exchange practically automatically. And then you're going to need to put 1 or 2 things for sale. That's me. I did that. Nevin sent me the stuff, and he was like, you do you. you'll figure it out, and I trust you. And I was like, okay. And I eventually kind of figured that out. So yeah, I really do believe in FPV Exchange. It's an awesome website, fpvexchange.com. Get on over there, get your old stuff that you're not using anymore to somebody that can use it, and take their money, and then spend their money on something more fun and newer and more hype trainy, because that's what we do. Kemma says, I need some cool spots to fly in Atlanta, but I don't know the dresses of all the spots I've seen. Kemma, to be honest, your best bet is just to go to Buckhead. Buckhead is the name of the city in Atlanta that like 90% of the spots are in. One of my favorite things to do is just to drive to Buckhead and then just drive around. And in the process of driving around, you'll go, oh my God, there's the presidential tower. Oh my God, there's the IHG building. Oh my God, there's this, there's that, there's that, there's that. You can literally just go in there and go to Buckhead and just drive around. And like, even if you don't find spots that you know, like you'll find spots. They're just like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. There's also a Facebook group called, I'm looking it up for you right now. Is that the groups button? Nope, that's the groups button. Come on, computer. You're better than this. It's called Sunday Ripping Dudes, parentheses, ATL, end parentheses. Grabbing a link for you. Yeah, there's a link in chat. Join that group. That's the most active group here in Atlanta, with the majority of the local pilots in it. So yeah, man, jump in there and just go to Buckhead, though, to be honest with you. Brian Ladmiral says, very interested to see how those newbie drone 2450s will work on your 4-inch. I switched out some T-Motor 1507s for these. Introduced a ton of electrical noise. Haven't messed with it since. Huh. Out some T-Motor for these. Just a ton of electrical noise. Wow, I've never had that happen with a motor swap. How can that even happen? Interesting. Wow. That's very strange. Like, every once in a while when I would get like a really bad bearing, I would get a little bit of noise in the video, but it would never be like really bad. That's crazy. Look at this mess, guys. Look at this mess. Oh, hey, you know what I did figure out, though? I figured out a better way to do this this motor testing. What I'm going to do is... Where'd that screwdriver go? Back here. Can't believe that bowl burned out, man. I'm very bothered by that by that lava lamp not being on. I feel lost. I'm very confused. I have a whole bunch of these newbie drone cockroach frames. So what I'm gonna do is just screw a whole bunch of these motors down, and I'll just have a bunch of frames with the motors screwed down to them. And then all I'll need to do is kick the top 4 screws out of the AIO on the frame, pull the AIO and camera, drop it onto one of these other frames where the motors are already going to be bolted down, right? And then yeah, 4 bolts for the AIO and the camera. Take it up in the air, see how it is. I'm hoping I can get that little cycle done quick enough to where I can do like a really good A, B, and then probably back to A comparison. So yeah, that should make my life a little bit easier with this motor testing, because I'm also realizing that there's like 5 sets of 1.2 inch propeller motors that I'm going to be testing here. I totally forgot about the 0803s that I wanted to test as well. And then I've got these Tiny Whoop 27,000 kV Danger onesies, and then I've got two sets of 22,000s. One is the iFlight 0802 22,000s. The other set is the Beta FPV 22,000s. Those two are interesting because those are going to be like my sort of efficiency candidates, because they're a little bit lower KV, and they have tiny little bearings in them. Actually, all the rest of these 0802s just have little metal bushings instead of bearings because they're just so small. But yeah, the iFlights and the Beta and the new version of the Beta FPVs. The Beta FPVs didn't always have the bearings in them. But yeah, this new gen, and when I say new, it's not really all that new. They're from like a year ago. But yeah, they've got bearings in them, which is kind of cool. So I'm really interested to see how they are. I'm pretty sure they're not going to have the power to lift up the Insta360 Go, but it's worth a shot. And I don't know, if I really like them, then maybe I'll do a non-HD, like just hardcore performance 1.2 inch whoop with them. We'll see. I don't know, the bearing thing is intriguing. It's kind of nuts that these other 0802s only have metal bushings. That's kind of crazy. Metal bushings aren't all that bad, though. It's easy to sort of demonize metal bushings, but I mean, on one hand, though, these do turn some pretty crazy RPMs. So you never know. Maybe maybe they'll make a big deal. Unfortunately, I don't have a metal bushing 22,000 motor, 22,000 kV motor to test them against, like head to head. I'm going to be testing them against 25,000 kV motors, 27,000 kV motors. So it's not going to be a super fair test, but I'm mainly checking them for efficiency because the Happy Model 25,000s and these Tiny Whoop 27,000s are going to be very thirsty. When I was on the Happy Model 25,000s with fresh Newbie Drone 300 mAh golds, I was getting less than a minute of runtime when it was. That's not true. That's not true. It was right at a minute. Might have actually been just a hair over a minute because in some of those edits I did do like one cut and I did cut out like a few seconds of footage, and those edits are all roughly 1 minute. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Let me just drop a couple propellers on here just so it looks the part, and then I can put this crap away and we will get into 4-inch Friday. Who's building something in the chat? What are you building? What are you guys up to? How have you guys been? What's your name? All the questions. High left, and I need another high right. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so there we go. We got a two of them. This has the this one has the iFlight 0802 22,000s. Oh, actually, this is a good time to check notchiness. Those are pretty notchy. Those are not. Interesting. Okay. These are going to get put aside. We will go back into Tiny Whoop land at some point over the weekend. I'm not going to make you guys wait until Whoop Wednesday again. We're going to dive in a lot sooner than that because I got a lot of work to do because I got to make 7 more of these stupid little things that took me a half an hour to make just this one. But I did find the other plugs that I was bitching and moaning that I couldn't find the other day. So that was really good. I literally just took absolutely every single Tiny Whoop thing that I could find out today and laid it out on the floor. And yeah, I was able to find all the stuff that was missing, which was really nice. So I got everything I need. I just need to put my head down and do the work with, you know, FPVN and life. Brian Ladmiral says, I'm not sure what it is. All I do is swap out the motors. Now it's twitchy and actually makes the HD FPV feed break up and turn half green. Never seen anything like it. That sounds like there's something else going on. One thing you can try, Brian, is dropping the ramp-up power down a little bit in BL Heli. It's probably not going to work, but it's a quick thing you can do in like 30 seconds. Sly Robocop Gaming says, TBS Crossfire V2 decided to be a massive asshole today when I went to fly new rates. I was working before when I went to fly new rates. It was like, I'm not going to cooperate. That sounds like a solder joint letting go, or a wire that's been almost chopped all the way through. Because that sounds pretty like on again, off again. So check your wiring, Sly Robocop. That's my guess. Todd Stafford says, "What's up with Logitech? Looks like it's coming down with Parkinson's. What was happening? Was it not focusing? I mean, it never focuses. I'm used to that." CazFPV says, "Who is Kaiser Soze?" DJ says 5-inch rig should be flight worthy tomorrow. Not having really good luck with 30x30 stacks. Really? Wow. 30x30 stacks are the most reliable that we've got. Yeah, because they've just been around the longest and they've had the longest sort of development cycle. That's weird. Kema FPV says, just finished 5-inch build frame that I designed from some guys from Buddy FPV's Young Ripper server. It's amazing. Very cool. DJ says, what's up with the prototype frame? Still working on it. Ryan Harrell was willing to do a bunch of work for free on it, which was pretty awesome. Ryan has designed a whole bunch of Luminier's more recent frames. The Johnny FPV frame, the QAV frames, the QAV-S Mini, the Mini Quad Test Bench. Yeah, he's got a bunch of frame design, and he's a really smart dude. He runs miniquadtestbench.com. So yeah, it was having him help me out with it was too good to say no to, and he's doing it all for free. So like I can't rush him at all. Not that I would anyway, because yeah, good stuff takes time. So yeah, we're working on it at the moment. It gained a lot of weight. It got all the way up to like 45 grams, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. It's got to be like 35 max. So now we're trying to get the weight back down, which is unfortunately a lot more difficult than than the weight going up. So, but yeah, we're working on it. Ryan is yeah, he just keeps helping me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. Kaz says the camera was real shaky. Oh yeah, that's normal. It's on a big long arm. Oh, Kaz FPV is Sick of Life 90. Very cool, man. I won't remember that. Fair warning. Sly Robocop says the nano board is flashing green, red over and over after it binds. I crashed into my house by accident, and then I went to arm it and disarmed it, and then rearmed her after a few seconds. It would not arm again. Betaflight says that no receiver signal is detected. Yeah, so I mean, if anything that ever happens after a crash has to either be a solder joint letting go, a wire letting go, or the electrical component itself letting go. So yeah, check your wiring, check your solder joints, and then if it's not that, sounds like you're gonna be buying a new Crossfire Nano. Sucks, but kinda is what it is. Don Ladd says, just watched Tommy's video on the 250. GNB has come up with a 380 mAh 6S that's 90C and comes in at 62 grams. Damn. That's impressive. Wow, very cool. I'm not really into the 6S on micros thing, but that's a hell of a battery. That'll probably be a really good battery for this thing. once these motors are on it. But let me just finish cleaning up my huge, disgusting mess over here first before we dive into that. Got some 1106s in here, some 1103s. All right, so these aren't motors that are going to be used on the 65 mil whoops. This is the other one that I need to pull apart. I'm going to save these two bags, put these over here, put that over there, put these guys over there, and okay. All right, I think I should have just enough space. In the not so cheery news department, I'm not going to be going to Rampage. I've decided that without health insurance and, you know, over a year into the pandemic, I've managed to not get coronavirus. And yeah, I really don't want to. So I'm just going to suck it up and not go this year. But next year I'll be there for sure. So I would love to see you guys there next year. It's also sold out. I didn't realize that I needed to get a ticket. So the tickets are sold out, and quite frankly, I can't afford it. Yeah, like I can't really justify going to that event. Like I need to get health insurance before I do something like that. You know what I mean? I'm about to be 40 years old. I can't be a dumb, responsible kid anymore and just, everything will be fine. I gotta actually use my head. So, yeah, I will not be there, but you should, although the tickets are all sold out. So, I mean, if you already got your ticket, then then you're gonna be going. If you haven't gotten a ticket yet, you're probably not gonna be going. Unless people cancel, I guess. I would say maybe keep an eye on the on their website, keep an eye on their Facebook page. Maybe if some people cancel, they'll open up some more spots for tickets. But yeah. Why is there so much hair floating around? Don Lads. Oh wait, we got that. Slycop says, lucky the kit I bought comes with 3, including the one that's on my drone. Very cool. It'll be up in the air in no time again. Freelojo says, my wife chose the Acrobrat Duo and Pink Accents because she wants me back in the air. And she is reading FPV flight dynamics. So that's the dream, Freelojo. Very cool, man. CazFPV says, also, what's your opinion on 4 versus 6S on 5-inch? I'm looking to build a new 5-inch rig and can't decide which way to go. I have a ton of 4S 1300s, but thinking about a 6S setup. Basically, on a full weight 5-inch rig, there is absolutely not a single reason to go 4S at this point over 6S. You've already got a bunch of the batteries, so basically what I would say is stop buying 4S batteries, fly those 4S 1300s that you have really hard until you blow them up, and then replace them one by one with 6S batteries. And then what you can do in Betaflight is you make one PID profile for 4-cell at 100% power under motor limiting, and then you make rate profile number 2, you tell it 6-cell, and you motor scale it down to like 70%, and then you don't have to change your motors or anything like that. As you buy, you know, your first and second and third and fourth 6S battery, when you plug in a 6S battery, Betaflight will automatically select that other rate profile with the motor scaling. And then when you plug in a 4S battery, it'll pick the first the first PID profile that's at 100% for 4S. So yeah, there you go. That's my suggestion. I wish that motor limiting was around when I switched to 6S, because it would have saved me $400 or $500 in rebuying all motors. I had all 2400 and 2600 kV motors at the time, and then I had to go and rebuy everything in 1600 kV for like 3 rigs. So yeah, you guys are lucky, man. Mark A says hello. Don Ladd says it's for the new 5-inch frame. Yeah, yeah, that's what the 250 is. It's his new 5-inch frame. That's what you're saying, right, Don? CiottiFPV says I still consider that to be a micro. It's got micro motors. It's got micro electronics. It's a micro looking frame. It weighs what a micro weighs. So I don't really consider the 250 to be a 5-inch rig. 5-inch rig, in my opinion, is 600 plus grams carrying around a GoPro. You know, the like classic 5-inch that we know of. Which, yeah, I guess we have to call them something different. We can't just call it a 5-inch rig anymore. I guess we have to call it like a 5-inch freestyle rig. Even that doesn't really work though. A 5-inch GoPro rig, maybe we can call it. I don't know. CiottiFPV says, also just noticed this the 360 Go 2 fund. Did you see the first gen is only $160 right now? Oh wow, I did not. That sucks. I just bought one for 200. Oh well, I don't need two. So damn, $160 is really, really cheap for an Insta360 Go 1. Damn, that's pretty cool. BeepTube says you could probably get vaccinated before Rampage. There's probably some available in rural areas around Atlanta. That's an interesting idea, and unfortunately, I already canceled and sent the email, so it's kind of a done deal. Sorry, I didn't even really think about that. QAV-S says, I know you said you didn't like to fly wings in a previous stream, but man, if you ever want to splurge a little bit for something fun, pick up a mini AR wing and set it up with iNav. It's wicked. Very cool, KV. I don't really know where I would even fly. Yeah, it's mainly that I just kind of don't have an interest in flying wings. I've been familiar with RC airplanes for a long time, and like it just it just doesn't, for some reason it just doesn't interest me. Just the way that these rigs fly. And the ability to get cinematic footage, and like that's really what I'm into. It's weird. Like I'm not even into like flying in a way. Like I'm into moving a camera around in the sky, basically. So that's probably where that kind of comes from. Todd Stafford says the 6S battery that Don referred to is for a 5-inch frame that all up weight with battery is under 250. Right, yeah, thus the name 250. I think, right? I think that's what you guys are talking about, is Tommy's new frame that I've had for a couple months, but haven't had a chance to build out yet. But yeah, this is Tommy's sub 250 5-inch frame. I still consider this to be a micro. Sly Robocop says, what should I do if the same thing happens again after installing a new board? At that point, the only other thing that you haven't tested at that point is your module in your transmitter. So at that point, you want to try to find somebody else with a Crossfire module and try their module. Because yeah, I mean it's either one or the other, right? Like it's got to be. It could also be the antenna. Check your Crossfire antenna. But yeah, I mean just process of elimination, right? Receiver, wires, antenna, module. It has to be one of those 4 things. So just start checking them off the list, and eventually you'll find the culprit. DJ says, got my hands on a new GPS module for my iFlight Chimera. Can't wait to try long-range flights. Very cool. Remy Tim says, go to Rampage and get paid to be a flight line manager for a few shifts. You don't need a ticket if you're working, and just get vaccinated first. Christ. I forgot you were flying into town for it, Dan. Fuck. All right, yeah, let me send her an email and say, just kidding. I'm gonna have to do that after the stream. I'm not gonna make you guys. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do that. Don Ladd says, "I get you, bro. 5-inch light." Mark A says 5-inch micro. Greg Womack says 5-inch all around. Kema says, "I think your lava." Yep, it's broken. Oh wow. Benjamin West just got an Insta360 for $70. Good lord. Scott Gillen says, "What's up? I made it here." What's up, Scott? CiottiFPV says, "Sub 250 5-inch equals FAA compliant 5-inch. Heavy 5-inch equals FAA angry." Angry boy. Jackalope says, "Have you ever seen the move Division 3 football's finest with Andy Dick? If not, I'm begging you to write it down. Hysterical seems like a similar humor to the league." All right. I am searching for that on the place that I get things from. It's got Andy Dick in it. I mean, I'm kind of down. There we go. All right. Come on. Oh wait, no, I can't tell. No, I just gotta leave this open. All right, cool. Orga says, "Did you see the 64 prop?" Yep. I laughed at how angry that rig was. I don't think he used more than half throttle the whole time. Quad mover is an absolute alien. Don Ladd says, "I also like my 5-inch rigs heavy, but 250 all up weight is the future. I've just ordered my frame from Tommy, so we'll see how I get on." Very cool. Mark Kunoff says, "It's windy up here, gusts above 24 miles an hour." I don't think so. I don't think it's all that windy here. I haven't noticed it all day. Brian Ladmiral says, "Look at my last post. I forgot to tag you." Oh, there it is. Bob mailed me a prototype of his new 5-inch ultralight. Tracking says it'll be here Monday. It's the one with the Vista that is used in place of the rear standoffs. Can't wait to test it. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting frame. That's a super interesting frame. Very cool. Remy Tim says, "Don't go to Rampage just because I'm going. I can't. I can find my way there either way." Yeah, you know, there are a couple guys here in Atlanta that are going. I'm sure that they'd be more than willing to give you a ride. I want you to go because you have a good time there, but don't feel pressured to go. It's your call. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on. I'm a disaster. All right. So let's dig into this. I mean, we don't really need to dig in too far. I think we just basically need to zap these motors on and then mount the just basically screw down essentially the VTX and make a couple of little antenna holders with some shrink wrap. I think that'll be about it. I think we'll be pretty much good to go at that point. So let's see if we can get that knocked out before midnight. How was Bot Grinder's stream tonight? I didn't. I was trying to get the office here all cleaned up. I didn't have a chance to turn it on. I made a way bigger mess than I ever thought possible with Tiny Whoop shit in here. It took way longer than I thought to get it cleaned up. Alright. Oh man, what a mess. I have made such a mess up in here. Okay. Looks like we also need to mount the camera, but that'll be pretty straightforward. So here's the big question. Is there enough motor wire on these to reach from these super splayed out rear arms to the front mounted ESC? If the answer is no, I'm gonna scream. I think the answer is yes though. My god, they put a lot of motor wire on here. Holy crap. I could run the goddamn ESC on the front of the camera Holy crap. Oh my god. Okay. Great. That's pretty awesome. Alright, that makes assembly a whole hell of a lot easier. Let's go. Let's get this shit going. Alright. So, let me actually throw a motor screw on here. Because it'll only take 1 second. And actually, I'll throw 2 in. And that way, I'll actually cut the wires to the right length this time. Okay. So, wire's going to run down there. I want to give it a little bit of extra room. A little bit of extra cable length, I should say. And the easiest way to do that is just to go like there to the base of the arm, right? And then make like a 90-degree angle. Like we always do. About this time. And then, man, I guess, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to just go outwards with... So I can go to the side on this first one. And then the second one... Yeah, this is going to be a little weird trying to get these wires onto these weird cupped pads on this ESC. But we're going to make it happen. It's going to be alright. I have faith in myself. So there's one. And we got second one. Come on. Come on, don't be a dick. There we go. Alright, so then we've got second one. Which I'm going to cut a little bit longer than what's needed. And then the third one. Alright, so let me see how that's going to work out. Let's just solder this one motor up, and then we'll see. No, you know, that's stupid. That's stupid. I'm just going to cut the other motor. This is going to be fine. If I cut these too short, I can just put them onto, I can just put race wires on, it's no sweat. Okay. So we got that guy. Let me grab another one of these motors. And I love it when I can do this with all 4 motors on Truex frames, but on a dead cat frame like this, you can't do this. You gotta very specifically measure up the front versus the rear. So, alright, here we go. Line these guys up. And then... Okay. So... These are top to bottom, so I can just... Alright, good deal. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this, but just pretend like you can. Oh, I clipped the wire. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. Another wire. Oh, I clipped it. Third one. Clip that one too. Yay! Now, in theory, they're the right length. Or they're too short. And I'll be very angry. But hopefully they're the right length. Let me put the right motor on the correct side. So that would be this one first. And yeah, let's just get this stripped. And we will hook it up to the ESC and see if smoke comes out. So I'm just going to strip the tiniest little bit of insulation, all these, from these guys. Because I think what I'm going to need to do is push them straight into the side of the ESC in the little cup. They didn't put pads on this ESC. They cupped the outside, which works really well if you can run your your motor wire is either up or down. But unfortunately, I have this ESC slammed so low that I can't really run them in the downward direction. But then I've also got a memory card slot right above. I've got the Caddx Tarsier double board right above the ESC, and so that prevents me from running the wires upwards. So I kind of have to run the wires straight into it, which is going to be totally fine. It's just a little bit different than what I'm used to and what I sort of prefer. But that's okay. This isn't going to be like a bando basher, so it should be totally fine. It is going to be a freestyle rig, but it's not going to be like a super gnarly huck it down 8 flights of stairs kind of a freestyle rig. Unless it is. Unless for some reason it holds up well to crashes and flies really well and all those other crazy things. We'll see. We will see. I don't the Tarsier with the big boards and the double stack, like it just, I don't know. I never got the feeling from the Tarsier that it would be able to handle a lot of punishment, and I've had 2 of them that have failed, so kind of leads me to believe that I might be right there. But I don't know. It's so hard to tell with durability testing, man. You got to really test like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them to get a big enough sample size for, like, you know, how hard you fly, how hard you crash, all that stuff. So it's kind of tough. Try not to throw anybody under the bus too badly in terms of manufacturers. I'm going to tin these off the side of the desk while talking through your guys. Oh, yeah, it's supposed to rain like crazy tomorrow, Todd, so that's probably what's coming. Lightning, high wings, heavy rain, headed your way. Hey, GemFan Hobbies in here. What's up, fellas? 3B does the same, bunch of wire. Very cool. Mark A says, did you see the new frame analysis that Chris Rosser has done for the Apex? I did. I've been talking to Bob all day about it, actually. Mark A also says he has some info in the video that's gold. Yeah, there's a few of us that are not super sure about that. There's a bunch of us that basically feel that the Apex does so well because it's very heavy. It's a very heavy frame. Well, that's not a very heavy frame. It's just a lot heavier than the other frames that he's tested. And yeah, I mean, you put 5.5 millimeter arms on any frame and it's going to be super stout, and they are very wide arms. So yeah, more testing to kind of drill down a little bit more on that. I can't believe I just said drill down. I'm so sorry. Brian Ladmiraw says, I'm wondering if it's that those motor wires are so tiny, very little insulation. That is why I'm just guessing it's electrical noise. Flew fine with the 1507s. Just wanted the 2004s. Man, that is weird, Brian. I guess maybe it could be that. Maybe. Unfortunately, I'm building this one on a completely unknown set of electronics with this HGLRC stuff. So if this one is noisy, it maybe is HGLRC's fault, right? Like, if this one does have a bunch of electrical noise, I can't specifically point to these motors because I don't know that the rest of the electrical system here is any good. But if that happens, I might be willing to change the ESC and flight controller out to stuff that I am familiar with to test that. Although probably not, to be really honest. I'll probably end up just doing a giveaway with the build and just say, you know, here's some good parts. You got to figure out the problem with it. I'll help you. But I just have a lot of builds stacked up. A lot of builds stacked up. And, yeah, 4 inches. I'm pretty sure that 4 inch is not going to be a size that I fly. Again, because there's just not a great HD cam solution. And after this goes together, I would love to put the 250 together to cash in on some of that hype train, you know, around that rig. And yeah, building 2 4-inch rigs at once, building 2 rigs that don't have like a use at once is kind of a bit much for me. Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna apply heat to these pads. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna solder these things like directly in like that, but that's gonna make getting the tip of the soldering iron in there a real pain in the ass. So, let's see what we can do here. Brian Ladmiral also says, my Tarsier has a short black screen. Push on it slightly and I get a picture, then goes black just as easy. Not totally broke, just don't know how to fix it. Yeah, I have not had great luck with Tarsiers. This is my 3rd one, and this is my last one. Once this one's gone, I'll never buy another one. June Loco says, what could cause flyaway as soon as you give it throttle? We could talk until about midnight about that, June Loco. There are about a million things that could cause that. Tell me as much as you possibly can. Tell me when the problem started. Tell me what the build is. Tell me everything you can possibly think of. That's really the only shot of me being able to troubleshoot that, just because it could be absolutely anything. It could be literally any electronic. It could be the frame. It could be the tune. It could be the filtering. It could technically even be BL Heli. So yeah, tell me as much as you possibly can, so that I have a hope of troubleshooting it. Because that's a super general kind of like, you know, kind of like going into a repair shop with your car and be like, my car's making a noise. What is it? They're gonna be like, curvature of the Earth. Oh, okay. I ain't mad at that. Interesting. Okay. I was even able to get a little bit of an angle on it. Let's see if that was just a fluke. Put the soldering iron below. It looks like if I go below, I can heat the joint up. Oh wait, no. Let me get some flux up in here. I don't know. I might. This might be a really clean way to solder your motors up with these little pads. I don't know how durable this would be though. I feel like I'd be more comfortable with them in pads, but maybe not. I mean, you never know. All right, so that is now molten. Dude, I mean, if nothing else, it looks really pretty with these wires into the pads like this. And I mean, they seem to be kind of sitting in there really nice. Huh. All right, HGLRC. All right. You're doing a thing. I'm not going to be presumptuous and be like, oh, they might be onto something, but I don't know. This is way, way, way easier than I thought, and it's way cleaner than I thought it would be, too. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Huh. And then they're at like a really nice angle to just kind of push them down a little bit. Look at that, man. Look how clean that is. HGLRC turning over a new leaf and making some good stuff. Maybe. Maybe. Let me get a screw in this motor to get this thing going here, so this motor's not flopping all around. BlitzFPV says, I got that Session 5 new in box for $195. Now I need a 5-inch drone. What flight controller would you recommend for the Glide besides the Talon? Banggood's prices on our way over MSRP. Oh, and what ESC? At the moment, Blitz, all of my favorite gear has officially been discontinued. So I kind of have no idea what to recommend. If you go down below into the description to my gear I use and trust section, all the 20x20 stuff is now gone. So I have to find some time to figure out what the hell to recommend. I'm kind of at a loss. I can't believe that just everything is gone. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have an answer for you right now, but I will as soon as I possibly can. For the time being, what I can say is that I have heard from a bunch of people that the T-motor electronics are looking really good. So that is where I would maybe go. Is all T-motor all the time. Okay, so we need M2x5s for these motors. That's good to know. Come on, man. Get up in there. There we go. Alright, let me bust a couple of M2x5s out here. Let me also move this hardware back a little bit. That's the frame hardware. Okay, M2x5s. Let me see how many... well, you know what? Let's actually go button heads. Since this is like a lightweight build, let's get our button head on. Plus, I think I'm running out of socket-headed M2x5s, which is absolutely outrageous, but it had to happen at some point. So here we go, diving through to try to find as many matching M2x5 button heads as I can. Oh yeah, I'm finding a bunch. Oh my god, look at all these gloss black M2x5s. It's a jackpot up in here. Come on. Oh yeah, another one. That might be one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's enough. Empty Head says, are these half-hole motor pads? They're motor pads that look like this. The side of the ESC is here. No, the side of the ESC is here, like this. And then they go like that. And then there's more ESC. And then there's another one. I forget the name for it. For them, rather. But it's a fancy word. Just pretend like I said a fancy word and go, ah, okay. Alright. Here we go. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. That's the ticket. I got one of these extra M2x5s. That's fine. I get a couple more screws in here, and we'll move on to the next. I think maybe we'll do a quick Betaflight setup here tonight with this too. Shit, maybe even a test hover. You never know. No promises though. If things start going wrong, I gotta make those. I gotta make like those antenna mounts, and I'm gonna have a bunch of pain in the ass things that are gonna kind of take forever with this. So definitely no promises on the test hover, but perhaps the Tarsier is probably gonna blow up. Like something bad's gonna happen. Ye of little faith, they call me. So these QAV-S mini arms can confirm are drilled for both 9x9 and 12x12, which is really good. That's really smart. Okay. There we go. With these button heads, you really want to use MIP drivers because they just have such a better fit. And that way you'll make sure you don't strip them out. All right, cool. So let's move these guys up here and then zap this other motor on here. Well, actually, hold on. Let me just throw a quick zip tie on here while I'm thinking about it. I got a couple of red zip ties out. The stash here. And we'll just get this going. So, or I could use, you know what? No, I'm going to use black electric tape because on a micro, black electric tape is typically thick enough to prevent the propeller from cutting the motor wire, which is just, I know that sounds outrageous, but there's just such a difference in power between micros and full-size 5-inch rigs. It really, like, you can really kind of get away with murder on these small builds. It's really nice. Like, it really makes building them a lot easier. You just got to sort of know the tricks. You got to sort of know what you can and can't get away with. All right, so putting that flat there, I cut off way too much. I probably only did half as much as this. I hope this isn't too short now. I'm going to be pissed if I just cut this too short. Okay, motor wires go in there. And I always try to wrap this electric tape like tight on the top so that it sticks to the wires and then prevents the wires from pulling. So you put make sure you're putting it on a part of the arm that's not super bent, not super tapered rather. And what I like to do is get one side stuck under on the bottom and then pull the top tight and then wrap it around back onto the bottom. And that way, on the top of it, it pulls down into the wires, and that'll sort of prevent the wires from moving around. Like the electric tape just kind of like sticks to each one of the individual wires and holds them in place real nice. And it looks gorgeous when you do it like that. So that's motor number 3. Let's do motor number 1. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so this is going to be a little different because I'm coming at it. Nah, this will be fine. It'll be totally fine. Tweezer's coming from this side. No, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Soldering iron from this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Soldering iron from the right onto the pad, and then this will actually be easier doing it this way, which is kind of nice. Not fluxing, but I did just put a little ball of solder on the tip of the iron. Pad is liquid. Wire is in. Man, this is a really clean. This is I don't know, man. This is really a kind of nice way of soldering up a micromotor to a micro ESC. I would love it if this ESC held up, because it goes up to 6S, and there's really only one other lightweight, small ESC. that supports 6S at the moment. It's the iFlight. Like it's like $30. It's crazy cheap. I would love for there just to be another option. And man, I'm kind of digging this. These little cuts in the side, although I'm having a little bit of problem right now. But let me try to bring the soldering iron in a little bit more flat. See if that helps out. Oh yeah, that's all I needed to do. I don't know if I like this so much just because it looks so good and like, and it's just a really clean look, or because I mean, I don't know, all things considered, this could be a strong way to have these wires hooked up here. Like, I'm kind of worried about the strength just because it's different, but it's got like kind of almost 360, not 360, maybe like 180 degrees. It's got more contact patch of solder to pad, and it's not just like a flat pad that can get ripped up and off. It's one of these, and you're not going to rip the whole inside of the. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What else do we have here? Always.
Can you give me this? Or are you using it?
I'm not using it, but it has the. I got you.
Because this one's dead. I can take that off if you need.
It's kind of like sticky taped on a little bit.
Oh, then don't worry about it.
Too late. Good catch. In the chat, BlitzFPV says that really sucks that we don't have reliable electronics like old red bottoms in today's FPV market. I mean, I swear if the Talons were more widely available and came in black, the Talons aren't even. I haven't even found the Talons to be all that reliable. I don't know. It's castellated. Thanks, Brandon. It's yeah. It's it's tough. It's tough to like the reliability is hard because we smash these things so hard, right? So it's really difficult to know, like, you know, like these could be perfectly durable, but we just abuse them so much that they don't have a hope in hell. That's an interesting look. But yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while there'll be an a microelectronic that holds up, but I always wonder if that's just like pure chance. June Logo says Flow Motors 6S Apex 5-inch Mamba 405 stick with air unit at CiottiFPV. Very cool. That sounds like a pretty cool build, June. Brian I had to read it twice. Brian Ladbrow says, you really need to get some automotive fabric tape, so much better than electric tape, a lot cleaner builds, and it's reusable. Yeah, I've heard really good things about that fabric tape. That's really good stuff. Cloth tape for the win, Gempan Hobby says. Emax has been using that cloth tape on some of their stuff. And yeah, it looks really, really nice. I have a feeling it's a little heavy though, but in theory you're only using a tiny little bit of it, so it'd probably be totally fine. Yeah, one of the things I love about electric tape is how light it is. Like it is, although it's funny because it's not any lighter than zip ties. Like you would think that electric tape would be a little bit lighter than zip ties, but it really isn't. Which is kind of shocking. So you actually sort of got to be careful. Like don't don't do like 5 wraps of electric tape because it does weigh something. I wonder what that cloth tape weighs. Because remember that weight on the ends of the arms is kind of like, I kind of equate it to unsprung weight on a car, where like it might only weigh, it might not seem to weigh much, but it's in a location, it's in like a critical location basically. So yeah, out on the ends of the arms, you gotta like save every single gram you possibly can. What the hell's going on here? What? Can everybody just be cool? Why is this fucking screw is stuck in the goddamn arm now? What the fuck? Okay. Alright, so now it's not stuck. But it won't go into the goddamn motor. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, everything's fine. Relax, guys. Jesus. You're so reactionary. Good thing I'm here with a level head. Oh, that's not an M2x5, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, the motor was sitting up a little bit. I see. All right. Motor 1, almost done. I'm looking forward to the Tiny Whoop testing. I haven't flown Tiny Whoops in a while, and I have a fucking million batteries, man. I went on a rampage buying Tiny Whoop batteries when I was doing those when I was doing some of the cinematic gigs with it, and then it just like stopped. It was like cold turkey. It just stopped. But hoping to get back into it with that Insta360 Go too. It's kind of when I realized that that the Insta360 Go 1 was only 24 frames a second. I hadn't realized that initially, and once I realized it, it just makes combining it with other footage a real pain in the ass. Flight footage just doesn't look great at 24 frames a second unless you're going really slow, which is, I mean, it is a pretty slow rig, but still, like, I don't know. I should have probably stuck with it, but this winter was nuts. I'll get back into it now. Okay. So, same deal on this one. Let's get this guy stuck on the bottom. And then we'll pull it up tight on the top. Stick it to the individual wires and stretch it down to the bottom again. So stretch it up tight here. Not too tight. But you want to give it a good pull. And then back down on the bottom. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off here. Try to get it to not overlap onto the side of the arm, because then that gives it a good spot to just kind of like pull. You know, it gives it like a starting point to farg up. So, did you guys go check out the league? I swear to God, if nobody went and checked out the league on Hulu, like I told you guys to, Wednesday, I'm going to be very upset. I won't be upset. I'll just be disappointed in you. Show's called The League. If you like cursing and you like fart and dick jokes, you're going to love it. If you like me, you're going to like The League. Many of the amusing things that I say, I have stolen from The League. I'm giving away my secret source for funny language, but that's okay. It's worth it. Hey, look at that. Still caught up on chat. So motors 1 and 3 are done. This thing's starting to look like a quad. Crazy. So now we got to figure out, this is going to be like a straight shot with these motors. We'll be able to cut a ton of this off. I am pretty shocked at how thin these motor wires are, but it's easy to test. If you, with a micro, since you can kind of just hold the damn things and go full throttle, and not like kill yourself. If you can do that and then touch the wire, as long as the wires aren't getting hot, they're good to go. So I'm willing to bet that even though these motor wires seem thin, no, they're not even that thin. They're 24. They're 24 gauge.
I think I got my glass.
I'll be damned. I would have thought they were like they feel like they're 30 gauge. My God. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna measure out one motor, and then I'll put the other motor on. Everything will be great. All right. Here we go. We've got a little bit of this, a little bit of this. So with these front arms, it's going to be a little bit harder. Nah, we'll be good. We'll be good. This will be all right to use some extra wire. So I'm just going to push the wires. I know it's hard to see over my fingers, but my fingers are just holding the wires down so that they sit nice and flat. And then so I'm just going to loop them up forward like that. And then they're just going to kind of come back around and line up with the pads. So, okay. So I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to hold this here. Hopefully that stays kind of in place a little bit, sort of. Yeah, close enough. All right. So I'm going to cut him here. And then this little fella up here. Find him?
No.
Oh, shit.
They're here, but like I
Oh,
just
okay,
placed them.
That guy there. And then I'm just going to cut this third one a little bit longer. Third one is always just a little bit longer. The first two are not always just, you know, second one a little bit longer than the first one. Sometimes they're actually the same length. Because of the weird way that I run these things sideways off of the regular pads. But that's a little bit different with these cupped pads. I already forgot the name. It's not a very memorable word that these stupid cupped pads are called. I think I'm just going to call them cupped pads, because if I say cupped pads, I feel like that's descriptive enough. You know what I mean? And like nobody other than Brandon's going to know the actual name. So if I give the actual name, everybody's just going to go, what? They're called what? So third one, just a hair longer. And then we're going to take the last motor, and we're just going to hold it up next to the other one. Scott Gillen with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Very kind of you. He says, what do you think about FPV cycle 2506, 2200 kV, and two sets of T-Motor F40 Pro 4 2400's? Bob's 2506s are really interesting. I think you should wait until he gets the new ones in, that the manufacturer has told him that they won't have any of the desync issues. And then in terms of the F40 Pro 2s or F40 Pro 4s, that's going to be a much more traditional freestyle motor. It has the potential to be a little bit more durable, but I don't really know. The main reason it'll definitely be more durable because it's a much lighter motor. The F40 Pro 4 is one of the only two available 30-gram 2306 motors, and that's a big deal. So Bob's motor is going to have more grunt, and it's going to have a wider range of propellers that you can run on it. but the F40 Pro 4s are going to feel much, much, much more lively in the air because of how lightweight they are. So that's a very interesting comparison. At the moment, though, I would definitely not go with Bob's motors with all the weirdness with the desyncs that's kind of going on, and I hate to say that, but that's why I haven't gotten a set yet. And yeah, also in fairness, I have not flown his 2506s. I'm only going by what other people that I trust have said, which I typically try not to do, but if a question gets asked in a super chat, I'm going to say as much as I possibly can to work for that super chat. Scott, when you say 2 sets of T-Motor F40 Pro 4, what are you getting at there? Athix says, I'm running Nubidra and Flow 2450 5-inch 4S. Those are really good motors, just lacking some power to the high end of the throttle. Very responsive though. I just spit, but I'm nice and small on the screen so you couldn't see me. Scott also says, does the Glide come with actual instructions? Where can I get them? Too late on the FPV cycle motor. Just came in the mail today. The Glide does not come with instructions, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just X plate on the bottom, arms, base plate, standoffs, top plate. That's it. There's no like vertical camera plates. There's nothing confusing about it. You'll be good to go. Seth Inman says, my friend is giving me his 1504.5 motors. Should I make them into a 4-inch freestyle quad? You should not, Seth. Those are way too small for 4-inch. But those are the absolute perfect motors for a 3-inch rig. So you should build a 3-inch freestyle rig. Those are actually those are the best motors that I've been able to find in 4 years of building micros, over 4 years of building micros. So yeah, definitely don't put those on 4-inch props because they're not going to be good. 4-inch propellers are going to require these 2004s. This is really as small as you want to go. 1804s will technically spin a 4-inch prop, but they don't really love it. I have an edit here on the channel called 4-inch motion, and in that edit I'm flying a 4-inch prototype frame from Bob on 1804s, and you can kind of see in a couple instances that they lack a little bit of torque, they lack a little bit of power. After that drift event, I moved that rig onto 2004s with the 4-inch props, and it was light years better. They feel really, really good on 2004s. And if you look at like everybody's 4-inch builds, they're all on 2004 motors. So it's yeah, which feels good. It's pretty. I'm usually the one running a motor that nobody else is running on micros. It feels really good that there's actually other people that have come to the same conclusion on the 2004s. So that's pretty slick. That doesn't happen to me much in in micros. I'm usually like the turbo guinea pig, figuring everything out for myself, and then screaming it from the rooftops in hopes that other people will come on board. All right, so I'm gonna get these tinned up. Although we are into Patreon overtime hours, so I'm actually gonna chop this public stream, and you patrons are gonna get an email notification, a Discord notification, and a notification over on Facebook, for my in the Micro Kings Castle. With a link to our after hours, after party Patreon stream. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's going to cost you $3 whole. I know, it's crazy. But you're going to get daily live streams, and that's only 10 cents a day. So if an additional like hour or two of streaming isn't worth 10 cents a day, I don't know what it is. So I'll see you over there. CiottiFPV.com. The very top button is Patreon. If you want to come over and join, you'll see in a minute a post go up with a link to the unlisted Patreon-only stream. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. This is my full-time job. Lots of other ways to support me over on CiottiFPV.com. Doesn't have to be Patreon. And I'm going to keep doing these public streams for 30 to 60 to 90 minutes a day, every single day for public, for free. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. Look out for that email notification with the link. I'll be back. Well, for some of you. Hold on, let me give you a little bit of flying now. Let me give you a little bit of flying on my way out the door. Oh, nope, that's just gonna be a crash. Oh boy. That's just a crash. This will have some flying in it. Oh boy. These propellers are banged up. Prepare for some banged up propeller flying. See some of you guys in a minute.